Hello everyone, my name is Matt and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I have a walkthrough of a two-part lesson. This lesson teaches rooms of the house and then actions in each room. And this is meant to be taught right after the My Family lesson, which has been available in my store for more than a year now. So if you have that lesson already, this will be a perfect follow-up to that lesson. If you don't have that lesson, you can buy all three lessons together and teach them, in order. Okay, My Family, and then At Home Part 1, which is rooms of the house, and then At Home Part 2, which is actions in each room. So I really hope you guys enjoy this. Don't forget, you can purchase this lesson on Taobao. You can purchase it on Shopify. I have a Shopify store now that I mentioned in the previous video, or you can just click one of the links in the video description below and get taken directly to an end of sale using Sendow, and you can buy it there. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, don't forget to hit that like button. That really helps out my channel. Subscribe if you're not already, and leave a comment below if you have any questions. All right, let's get right into these walkthroughs. All right, let's have a look at this PowerPoint. So as with all of my PowerPoints, we start with the rules and then we go into a review. I'm leaving a slide here that reminds you to insert your own review if you'd like. And then because this is meant to be taught right after the My Family lesson, we have a quick review of the family members. So the students can take turns by team, choosing a family member and then saying it in English, and they can get points. For example, they say father, they get 3 points. Next team goes, mother 5 points, grandfather 6 points, younger brother 3 points, older brother 8 points, grandmother 4 points, younger sister and the older sister 5 points and 7 points. So this is just to get them excited. They'll be very excited to see how many points they get. It's kind of a gamble, okay? And then this is a direct review of what was learned in the previous lesson. So they should see it like this. Who is she? And the student will say, she is my older sister. She is a girl. So in the last lesson, they learned who, they reviewed she, older sister, and girl. Okay, you can have the whole class ask, just as in the family lesson. So the whole class can say, who is he? And then I choose a student. He is my younger brother. He is a boy. And you can give them points. It's fun to give them points, and just go through this for all of the family members just to refresh their memories. And you got to review when you're teaching this stuff, because there's a lot of words here. And if you're teaching this to grade 2 or grade 3, or if your students are high level and you're teaching this to grade 1, they're going to need to review it. Okay, so I like to make sure I put all this in the PowerPoint so that as a teacher you don't forget. Okay, yes, it's easy for us, but they need to review this before you add anything else. Okay, let's go to the next part. So this game is, again, directly out of the My Family lesson. So you call in 2 students and this from one of the teams, and the student would say, who is he, or who is she? They get to choose. He is my, and if they said he, they would say younger brother. If they said she, it's a grandmother. And then if they said he and younger brother, they would say boy. If they said she and grandmother, they would say woman. Okay, and then there's points. Okay, you add all the points together, and they can add those to their tally. Okay, now let's go into the new lesson. Okay, teaching part 1. So in this lesson, we're going to be learning the rooms of the house. So the first thing you need to show them is the word house. But as with all of my lessons, show it to them in their first language first and see if they know it. Have students volunteer the answers and then show it and have them write it in their notebook. If you're teaching in Japan or Germany or Korea or Colombia or whatever, you can ask your friend, or maybe you're a native speaker of the local language, change this into the local language. If you download my PowerPoints, all of them are editable. You can change anything, okay? It'll work as a great template, or you can use it as it is, but a lot of people download my PowerPoints and then they use them as a template. Some people teach them as is, but things need to be edited and changed. This PowerPoint is editable. People ask me this all the time, okay? If you download my PowerPoint, or you want to, it is a PowerPoint as like any other PowerPoint, okay? I don't have it locked or anything. You can change it. You can do whatever you want to it. You can use it as a template and change it into other language, so just remember that, okay? And also, when you're teaching ESL, or pretty much teaching anything, you want to show them what, you want to see what they know first, okay? Don't just assume they know it or tell them the answer. I see many teachers make this mistake. When they first show the slide, they'll have the answer there. And the students are just living room, and the teacher has no idea whether or not those students actually knew it, okay? What you want to do is show it like this, Or like I said before, if you're teaching somewhere where they speak Spanish or German or French, change it into the local language. Ask your friend who's a native speaker, or maybe you're a native speaker, to change this into the local language and then show it to them like this. Okay, see what they know. Have them raise their hand. Tell you what it is and then show it, okay? What can you see in the living room? This is just some extra stuff, you know. I like to do this with my kids because there's lots of nouns here that they might know. So I'll say, for example, I can see 2 chairs, right? I can see 2 chairs. And they might raise their hand and say, oh, I can see a coffee table, or I can see a TV, I can see a lamp, I can see a plant, I can see a sofa, I can see a window. Good job. I can see a rug. Then move on to the next one, okay? Rinse and repeat for all of the words, okay? Dining room. What can you see in the dining room? I can see 4 chairs, I can see 2 windows, I can see a rug, I can see 4 bowls, 3 spoons, 4 chairs, okay? And then go on to the next one. Okay, you rinse and repeat for each room of the house, the same exact way. Make sure they write them in their notebook, okay? And yes, bathroom, study, basement, laundry room. You can add other rooms here if you want to put foyer or entranceway or whatever, closet. You can add anything you want here. Maybe there's a game room in the person's house, a theater room, maybe it's a mansion. Okay, then we'll say them again. Okay, so go through them one more time again. So we have living room, bedroom, dining room, kitchen, study, laundry room, bathroom, basement. Now when you go through this part, you can have them raise their hands. Okay, so you show them this. Raise your hand. What's this? What room is this? Student raises their hand from one of the teams. Living room. Good job. Next team. What is this? Bedroom. Good job. What is this? And this is easy. They should have it right in their notebook. But it's just, you know, it's part of learning for them to say it again and again and again. Study. Whole class said study. Next one. Laundry room. Laundry room. The whole class says it together. The more times they say it, the better. Okay, let's move on to the next part. Okay, this is just a little bit of reinforcement. So right after this, I'll say, please write 1 to 8 in your notebook. And then I just show them and they need to write them again. Okay, I'm just trying to get this into their memory. You know, learning, a lot of it comes just to memory, right? You got to be able to remember something to add it to what you already know, and then in order to be able to say it. Okay, so just go to 1, 2, 3, have them write it down. Same thing, 4, 5, 6, have them write it down. I think it just looks directly in their notebook. This is not a test or a quiz. They can use their notebook to write the words, okay? Again, I just want, some people learn by seeing, some learn by hearing, some learn by writing. So it's going to help a lot of the students in the class who learn by writing to have them rewrite it again, okay? And then check your answers. So you can have students raise their hand. Number 1 is bedroom. Good job. Or in this case, you could actually bring them up to the board. Have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Call on students. Who wants to do number 1? Or come on up, write it down. Who wants to do number 2? Right? And then you can show all the answers. Okay? Again, we're just trying to reinforce as many times as we can before we start adding in the question and the sentence and all that stuff. Okay? All right, game time. See and say. So in this game, what they need to do is say what that was, okay? So it flew by really quickly, and they need to say which one it is. So this is testing their reading too, right? Some of them might know what that is, right? But some of them might need to be able to read it. So in this case, they also need to be able to say that if it's A, B, or C, okay? You could also play this as a writing game on the board. You could do it as a writing game. They could just write A, B, or C, or they could write the whole word since they just did it. If this is grade 1, that would be quite difficult for them to write the word. But if it's grade 3, you could have them write the word. So you bring up 1 student from each team, give them a piece of chalk, show them, and they need to write what it was. Okay? If it's grade 1, they can just write A, B, or C. If it's grade 2 or 3, you can have them write the full word. Okay? And then they say it. Okay? That was the bathroom, right? And rinse and repeat. Okay? You could do, if you don't want to play it as a writing game, you can just call on 1 student from each team to stand up. Are you ready? Everyone be quiet. Show it. Flies by. What was that? Dining room. Good job. Team 2 was first. Team 2 gets the points. Or again, they could be writing it on the board with a piece of chalk. The first student to write it. And they can just look at it, right? It's right there on the screen. They can read it and write it. You know, they can copy it off the board. That's totally fine. And rinse and repeat. Again, when they're learning new words, because it should be smoother. It's smoother really, but because I'm recording this, my computer's a bit choppy. But again, The more ways you can reinforce this and get it into their memory, how to say these things before you move on to harder parts of the lesson, the better. Okay, so it flies by. Again, it'll be smoother in class. It's just I'm trying to record this, so it's not as smooth, but really it's smooth. Okay, and keep going, rinse and repeat for all of them. There, I think I did one for not all of them, but most of them. Okay, the next game is called Right or Wrong. Right or wrong. Right or wrong, or you can say right or wrong. Okay, right or wrong. This is the living room. And you can have the whole class say it together. This is the living room, and then show it. Huh? No, that's wrong. That is the dining room. So this is the language you want to teach them. That's wrong. That is the dining room. Okay, so yeah, for this game, same thing. You could have students come to the front and write right or wrong on the board when they see it. So they're holding the chalk. You can imagine the way it is right now, right? They're holding the chalk, and you say, this is the living room. Then you show it, and they start to write right or wrong, okay, next to where their team writes, okay? And then see who is correct. Good job. Everyone got it correctly. Everyone together. That's wrong. That is the dining room. Or you can even add more. That is wrong. That is the dining room, not the living room, or wherever. Yeah, living room, not the living room. Okay, and rinse and repeat. Again, this could be a writing game, or it could just be they stand at their seats and play, but they're learning extra words here. Right, wrong. This is the laundry room. Ah, right. That's right. That is the laundry room. Okay, and rinse and repeat. Okay, again, we're just trying to get them to remember these rooms, and also in this case, we're teaching them right and wrong. Okay, and of course, we're saying it in a sentence. Okay, this is the kitchen. No. That's wrong. That is the basement. Everything should be in a sentence. Don't just teach them yes or no. It should all be said in a sentence, a full sentence. Okay, and rinse and repeat until you get to the end. If you think you're not going to have enough time in class, you don't have to have them write it. You can just have them stand at their seats. It'll be much faster. This is the kitchen. Yeah, that's right. That is the kitchen. Okay, and let's go on to teaching part 2. Okay, so for this part, I want to teach them a new word. Some of your students might already know this. Either way, it's great review. It's great language, very important language. See if they know it. They raise their hand and tell you. Where? Very good. How do you translate the sentence into English? Good. Where is your mom? And again, if you're not teaching somewhere where they speak Chinese as their first language, you can change this into the local language. Okay? Where is your mom? Or where is your mother? Where is she? What room is this? She is in the dining room. And the class should say it together. You can call on 2 students to have the dialogue. They stand up. One asks the other, where's your mother? She is in the dining room. Good. Next one. How do you translate this? Good. Where's your grandmother? Call on 2 students. Where's your grandmother? Other student says, she's in the kitchen. Good job. Rinse and repeat a few times. Okay. So they get the hang of it. And yeah, this isn't so difficult, but if you're teaching grade 2, this is a challenge for some of them. They need to be able to say it fluently. Ask and answer. Okay, so let's go to the final game. Okay, the final game of this lesson has a spinning wheel. There are many ways you could play this. The most basic way is call on 2 students from one of the teams, have them come up to the front, and one of them says spin, and then stop. 5 corresponds to who? 5 corresponds to father. So the other student, or the student who, it doesn't matter. It could be the student who spins answers. Okay, so that's the way I like to play. So the other student would ask, who is, all right, it's a man, right? Who is he? Good. He is my father. The other student asks, where is your father? Then you click on the father or the 5, either one's okay. It takes them to this slide. And the other student answers, he is in the basement. Okay, I have it shown here so they can say he is in the basement. Okay, then you click here and they can choose any picture they want, anything. They don't have to choose the basement. They can choose whatever they want, but they should say the room. Okay, so he says, I choose the dining room. Which one? There are 2 dining rooms. This one. All right, good. All right, 5 points. add 5 points to that team, and click the home button and go back. Then bring up 2 students from another team. 1 student says spin, stop. 5 again, let's try again. 2, okay? 2 is this one. You can show them here. It's this one. It's this person. It's this family member. The student says who is, it's a girl, all right? Who is she? She is my younger sister. Good job. Where is your younger sister? Click. She is in the, what room is that? Let me check my notebook. Okay, or if you want to make it harder, they can't check the notebook. It's up to you. And they should say, she is in the study. Good job. The whole class says she is in the study. Click points. The student can choose which one do they want. She says, I want the basement. All right, which one? There are 2 basements. I want this one, the bottom one. 8 points. Yeah. Good. Add 8 points to their team and go back. Okay. And rinse and repeat. Bring up 2 students from the next team or from the previous team. You know, the first team if there's only 2 teams. Spin, stop. Let's try to get 5 again. 3. 3 is older brother. It's a boy. Who is he? He is my older brother. Where is your older brother? I forgot to mention this. This is a dialogue, obviously, right? So in this lesson, we went from words, a question, the answer, now a dialogue, okay? Who is he? He is my older brother. Where is your older brother? Click it. You could also do this with 2 teams, right? The teams answer together. It's up to you totally. Here we go. He is in the dining room. And go for points. Okay, you rinse and repeat until, you know, as long as you want. You could have them clear this whole thing out. It's up to you. And then afterward, at the end of class, or as homework, you could give them this for homework. Okay, or if you have time at the end of class, they could do this right in class. So they need to write the question, where is your grandfather? He is in the bedroom. Okay, where is your older brother? He is in the bathroom. And so on and so forth. Okay, not very difficult, very fun, very easy, very interactive, and interesting. That's what we want in order to engage them and get them to want to participate, to want to speak. That is the goal. Okay, now let's go into part 2. Okay, so of course with part 2, we're going to start with the rules again, then we're going to have the review. What did we learn last class? We learned about the rooms of the house, but what else was important? The family members. So of course, here we're going to do this again. They're going to love it, except now I've changed the points. Okay, so they still need to go team by team and choose, and they can say the words, but the points are different. They'll figure out very quickly because they're going to have remembered that older brother was the highest points, and now it's not. Still pretty good, but not the highest points. Okay, and then go here. Do you remember the rooms of the house? All right, let's see. So choose any room in the house and say it in English. Same drill. They have to say the room and get points. So you call on a student from one of the teams. They say dining room. Good, 3 points. Next team, bedroom. 3 points again. Study, 6 points. Laundry room, 7 points. Kitchen, 5 points. Basement, 8 points. Bathroom, 4 points. And living room, 2 points. My students love this game. That's why I've included it in both these lessons. They absolutely love it. Okay. Here we are drilling the answer from the previous lesson. So you can call on a student from one of the teams. He is in the bathroom. Good. She is in the basement. Good. Okay. This is just a straight off review of the previous lesson, just to remind them. Okay. Before we go into the expanded language. Okay. Always teach, review. It's always, 1 step forward or 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Okay, you want to make sure that they are reviewing so they remember. Otherwise, if you add other language, they're going to be staring at you, confused, okay, because they don't remember. Okay, and let's go into the new lesson. Okay, so teaching part 1. Now, we are scaffolding, right? So we need to now teach them the next part of the scaffold, which is the verbs, okay? What do you do in each room, okay? So show them in their first language. Again, you can change this to the first language wherever you are. I know I mentioned this a few times, but I get people asking me this, and people are curious, like, why would they buy my lesson if it's in Chinese, right? They're teaching in Venezuela, or they're teaching in Germany or France. Why would they buy this if it's in Chinese? You can change it to whatever language you want, okay? So here we're going to show in their first language, they're going to raise their hand and say it. You can prompt them like this if you want. Okay, do my homework. In Chinese, they like to say, write my homework all the time. They'll tell me they write their homework. I'm like, not all homework is written, right? There could be listening, there could be coloring, there could be other things that you have to do, just reviewing, okay? So it's not always right, my homework, okay? Go through each one by one. Yeah, it's not very difficult. I want them to just, I mean, some of them they're going to know, some of them they're not going to know. Here with TV, I like to show them TV is television. Okay, again, eat a meal, sleep, cook food. And this one's a hard one. Store boxes of old toys. They're not going to know that one. Wash dirty clothes, dirty. And then say them again. Okay? Call on students to tell you. They just wrote them in their notebook, so they can look at their notebook, raise their hand, tell you what it is, watch TV, the whole class says it. Okay, one by one. And go to the next one. All right. Let's go in teaching part 2. So first thing you want to do is show them this in their first language. Don't assume they know anything. So see if they know how to say it in English. So it should be, what is she doing? Okay, look at the picture. What is she doing? Show them their first language. Yeah, she is sleep. No, she is sleeping. That's right, she is sleeping. What is she doing? She is sleeping. Good. What is he doing? What is he doing? He is wash hands. No, he is washing his hands. He is washing his hands. Some of them might want to say he is washing hands. It sounds weird in English, okay? You should say he is washing his hands, okay? We always say his or your or my or her, okay? And then you can do a quick writing activity. Again, this is just to reinforce and get them to make sure they understand, okay? So what is she doing? She is eating a meal. So this one's done for them. What is she doing? She is eating a meal, okay? What is she doing? See if they can do it on their own. Okay, walk around the room, check, make sure they're doing it. Some of them might struggle a little bit, but you know, you want to make sure let them think and do it on their own. If they're really struggling, you can have 2 of them work together and see if they can figure it out. And you do it for each one. Okay, don't rush through the lesson. If you think they need extra time with this, let them do it. Okay, let them figure it out. Give them the time to do it. If you think you're not going to get through your whole lesson, that's okay. You can take the end of the lesson, put it into the next class's lesson, okay, or the next week's lesson. It's okay. Don't rush. Make sure they can finish it, okay? Make sure they can understand it, okay? Then check the answers, okay? So show them all the answers, see if they did it. You can have them come to the front and write the answers. Who wants to do number 2? Number 2 comes up. What is she doing? And then see if they can do it, okay? You can bring up one student from each team and have them do number 2, okay? So you did it right. Number two, we need 4 students, 1 from each team to come up. What is she doing? And see if they can do it. Okay? There are many ways you could do this lesson. There's not one way. There's not a right way. There's not a wrong way. There's different ways. Okay? I'm just showing you and telling you a few possible ways to do the lesson, but don't get bogged down on what I'm telling you to do. You know, it's just the way I do it, the way I like to do the lesson. But the good thing about having a PowerPoint like this is it's already done for you. It's already created for you. Now you can go into class and you can make it your own, okay? A lot of people ask me, like, how should I do this? How should I do that? I give you advice. I can give you some, tips like I am right now, but there's no right or wrong way to do this. I mean, there could be a wrong way to do it, but there's lots of right ways, okay? So try things out, see what works, see what gets it in their memory the best, okay? And yeah, let's go on to the next part of the lesson. Okay, this is called the listen and think game, and there are many ways you could play this part of the lesson. So I'm teaching them like what they do in each room, what room goes with each action during this game. Okay, so the way I like to play it is I'll bring up 1 student from each team, bring them to the front, have them face the class so they can't see the slide, they can't see the PowerPoint, and then I'll either have 1 student stand up and read this, or I'll have the whole class read it together, or I'll have one of the teams read it, okay? And based on how well that team reads it, I'll give them points between 1 and 5. So if they all read it together and read it really, really well, I'll give them 5 points. If they don't read it that well or whatever, I'll give them less points. 4 points, 3 points, 0 points if they're not reading or not participating or whatever. That rarely happens, but it has happened where they're just kind of not into it and I'm like, all right, 1 point. Because I really want to encourage them to read together. But the easiest way to do it, not the easiest way, but the way I'll probably do it is like that. Have that whole team read it, and then for the next one, I'll have the next team read it, and then for the next one, have the next team read it, and give them points to encourage them to read it together. Okay, so the students standing at the front from each team will stand there. They can't see it. All they're doing is listening. So he is storing boxes of old toys in this room. Okay, so what room do you store boxes of old toys in? Dining room? No. Kitchen? No. Oh, I know. Basement. So the first student to realize the answer and say the answer, basement, will earn points for their team. Okay? Another way you can do it is if you think it's going to be too difficult, you can just have students from each team, one student from each team, stand at their seat, and you can show them, and the whole class can read it together. He is storing boxes of old toys in this room, and they're reading it and thinking. They're not listening and thinking, they're reading it and thinking. Okay? And then when they get the answer, they say it. Or they can come to the front, and they can look at it, and they have chalk, and you give them a place to write, and they write the answer. Okay, the answer should be basement. Okay, now I haven't shown them this yet, right? I haven't shown them this part yet, so I haven't made this connection yet. That storing boxes of old toys is in the basement. Okay, and then here we have it as a sentence. What is he doing? Okay, or a question as a dialogue. What is he doing? He is storing boxes of old toys in the basement. All right, good job. Let's go to the next one. Rinse and repeat with the next group of students. Okay? Again, have them stand up at their seats so they can see it and read it. Have them come to the front so they can't see it and they need to listen. And have the next team read it and give them points. Okay? She is doing homework. She is doing her homework in this room. What room do you do your homework? Living room? Yeah, you could do your homework in the living room. Bedroom? Yeah, you could. What's a better answer? I know. The study. Okay, so it could be a listening and saying game. It could be a reading and writing game. There's lots of ways you could do this. And again, you can have them read as a group or as a team and award points based on how well they read in order to encourage them. And rinse and repeat with each room of the house, making connections between the things we just learned, the actions, and the room. So she is eating a meal in this room. What room do you eat meals in? Ah, I know. The dining room. Okay, rinse and repeat. And yeah. It's a great way to make it fun, and they're playing it as a game, but they're also making connections between the actions and the rooms, okay? I like this game. I play it with my classes. It works really well with large classes, and that's why I do it that way. All right, let's go on to the next part. Of course, you go through each room, right? So this could take a little bit of time in the class, but it's important. If you don't want to play it as a game, you think it takes too long or they're getting too excited, you can just play it as the teaching part, right? So you show the whole class this, they read it together, someone raises their hand. What room is it? It's the bedroom, okay? And they write in their notebook. It's totally up to you. I like to play it as a game because it's more interesting, but again, it could take a lot longer as a game. But fun, fun things go by fast. Time will go by fast. You might run out of time in class. Again, if you do, just carry over the next part of the lesson, a review from this lesson and the rest of this lesson into the following lesson, and you're be as good as gold. Okay, and now let's go to teaching part 3. Okay, so the final part of this lesson is a dialogue game. This is the same dialogue game from part 1, except there's an extra part of it. Okay, so same dealio. Bring up 2 students. One student will spin the wheel and stop. 3. Okay, that is a boy, right? So it should be the first student should ask, "Who is he?" And then the other student will say, "He is my older brother." Again, we're using the language from the family lesson and also part 1, which is here. Where is your older brother? All right, let's click and find out. He is in the living room. They should see, they can tell what room he's in by looking. Okay, so he is in the living room. Then click again and it goes here. What is he doing in the living room? Or what is he doing? Look at the picture. Oh, what do we learn? He is watching TV in the living room. Good job. That's the whole dialogue there, right? The previous dialogue from the last class, and then we're adding this part in. This is the language that they learned in this lesson, okay? The action. Then you click here, which takes them to the spinning wheels. Now, both of the students participating in this dialogue can spin one of the wheels. So one spins one spins the other, one stops one, the other one stops the other one. Then say together as a class, 2 plus 4 equals, and you can write it on the board that way, 2 and then a plus 4 and then equal sign, and say it together with them. Okay, I love, all of my students know how to say all this math stuff in English. Plus, minus, equals. It's just, they're going to remember it and learn it in the future when they see it in their math class in middle school or in high school. They're going to know. They learned this in grade 2 or grade 1. Plus, minus, equals. They know it. They remember it. Okay, 2 plus 4 equals 6. And little kids love to do math. They love to show you they can do the math. Okay, right, add 6 to their tally and then go click here to go back. Okay, next team, 2 students come up. 1 student spins the wheel. Stop. 4. All right, it's her. So who is she? The student says, she is my older sister. First student says, where is your older sister? All right, click. Let's see where she is. What room is that? What room is that? Oh, I remember. She is in the laundry room. Okay, good. Click to go to the next slide. Let's ask the next question. What is she doing in the laundry room? She is, that's right, she is washing dirty clothes in the laundry room. All right, good. So then they click here, spinning wheel. And again, each student gets to spin one of the wheels. Let's stop. 4 plus 5 equals 9. And then add 9 points to their team and then go back. Okay, you can play this for as long as, as you want. Okay, until, you can play it until you think they master it or until there's only a few minutes left in class. Okay, and yeah. This goes on and on like this. And I want to show you at the very end of the lesson, I have a writing activity. So if you can give this as homework or you can do it in class with them if you want. So they can look at the pictures, right? What is she doing in the, or what room is that? Oh, the bedroom. Oh, she is sleeping in the bedroom. Good. What is she doing in the kitchen? She is cooking food in the kitchen. Okay, so you can show them this homework. What I like to do is I actually, take screenshots of this and give it to the teacher. The teacher gives it to the parents, and then they can do it at home. That's how you can do it. Or you can hand it out as a sheet of paper, as something that they can bring home with them. Okay, it's totally up to you. And that is both of the lessons. Okay, that's the end of the walkthroughs. I really hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did, don't forget you can purchase both of those lessons, or you can also purchase the My Family lesson as well as a 3-part combo. Just go to the links in the video description below. You can either buy it using Shopify, which is a website I have now. There's links below directly to Sendao, which is an end of sale page, or you can go to my Taobao store and you can find them there. Really hope you guys like that. Hit that like button if you did. Subscribe to this channel if you're not already, and I will see you in the next one.